Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us on day 14 of our 31-day yoga journey here on Move with Katie. If you are brand new, welcome. So glad to have you here. And if you're joining us again for another day of flowing and growing together, then thank you for being here. Today's flow is going to be a longer, more intermediate style practice that is going to combine many of the elements that we've been learning all week of shoulder mobility and strength, as well as some back bending. So I hope you really enjoy our practice. Let's get started by sitting in the middle of your mat. Taking a big breath in and closing down the eyes. And just grounding into our practice here. Let's start by just checking in with where you're at. So maybe beginning to notice the sensations in the body. Notice where the ankles and the sit bones press into the floor. Maybe notice the knees, the hips, any tension you may be holding there. Breathe into it. Exhale, let it go. Finding space, using the breath to create space. And then bringing that awareness and that attention up through the core, to the shoulders, maybe even shrugging shoulders towards ears and then rolling the shoulder blades down the back body, settling the collarbones nice and broad. And just checking in with the breath. Are you filling your lungs? Are you filling them both equally? Check in with your next in-breath and see if you can take a big inhale and then fill the lungs a little more before you exhale gently out the nose. And then bring that same awareness and presence up through the face. Let the muscles and the cheeks be soft. Maybe the corners of the eyes slightly lift up, like you have a hint of a smile on your face. And then if it feels right to you, bringing palms to touch at the center of the chest, thumbs on sternum, and taking a moment to set an intention for this practice. I'll offer one of being open to new experiences, open to the moment. And then when you're ready, let's flutter the eyes open and inhale, dropping the fingers by the hips and then reaching them high up overhead. Palms come to touch, look up, belly button towards spine. Exhale, let's lower the palms to the knees and round through the back body, taking a little exaggerated seated cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly, send the tailbone back, reach the arms up high, palms come to touch. Let's do that 2 more times. Exhale, palms to knees, round through the back body. Inhale, arms reach high, starting to get some motion through the spine. Exhale, rounding back body, pressing the heart away. Inhale, palms come to touch, look up. And then as you exhale, if you're seated on a block like I am, go ahead and move it out of the way. And let's grab a strap. If you don't have a strap, a towel or a shirt or a stick or a broom or really anything will do, as long as you can stretch it apart. So we're going to take here and we're going to do some of those shoulder mobility warm-ups. So inhaling and dropping the strap behind you. Option to be seated on your toes here, get a little bottom of the foot workout. And then let's continue moving the strap forward and back. Keeping the spine nice and straight, having integrity here. You're trying to move nice and even, so not rushing and you're not feeling your shoulders wobbling side to side. Instead, you're moving the shoulders together and just feeling that nice opening happen. If you feel like you're not getting much out of it, bring the hands closer together. If you feel like it's impossible, take the hands wider apart. No shame in wherever you are, because it's where you should be. Listen to your body. All right, then let's take and go ahead and let's drop that strap over to one side, pulling down with the bottom hand, and reaching up with the top hand, getting a nice little side body shoulder stretch. Then inhale back through center, and let's drop it over to the other side, doing the opposite. So again, just pulling lightly down with that bottom hand and pulling lightly up with the top hand. Nothing too extreme, but just feeling the stretch and the advantage that having a prop gives us. And then let's bring it back to center. And as you exhale, place it on the floor. And if you've been bending onto your toes, go ahead and tap out the top of your feet and we'll meet in a tabletop position. In our tabletop, we'll start by warming up our wrists. So take your fingertips and point them out towards the long side of your mat. Bring belly button to spine and then just gently take a sway back and forth, starting to warm up the wrists. I'll face you and show you. All this looks like is just a little bit of motion back and forth, changing the weight distribution on your wrists. Okay? Back and forth. Maybe you want to take some circles, send the hips back or forward. All just options. We're just warming up the body. And then let's point the fingertips forward and do a few cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart, lift the nose, lift the tailbone. Claw through the fingertips and press the floor away. Exhale, round through the back body. Tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin in towards chest, puff up the back of the heart. Inhale, dropping the belly, moving through your cow belly pose. Exhale, press the floor away, round through the back body, tuck the tailbone. Let's do 2 more, your breath. Inhaling, dropping the belly. And exhaling, rounding the back body, arching the back. And then from here, let's bring weight into the left hand and inhale the right fingertips high. Then we're going, you've been here before, going to tuck the right arm under the left armpit. Tap the right ear, threading the needle, and then inhale, reach the right hand high. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, lift. Exhale, thread it through, tap the ear. Tailbone high, belly button towards spine. Inhale, lift. And this time when you exhale, let's keep that right shoulder down, keep the right ear down, pin the tops of the feet to the floor, and maybe you walk your left hand forward. Feeling a nice shoulder stretch here. Maybe you even take your left hand and you wrap it around behind back body, catching hold of right thigh, getting a little twist. Inhale that left hand so that it sets in front of your nose, and then lift the right fingertips to sky. Exhale, right hand comes down next to the left. Let's take that on the opposite side. Inhale, left arm high. Exhale, thread it under right armpit, left ear taps floor. Inhale, press the floor away, open up left hand. Exhale, ear to floor. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap the shoulder, tap the ear. Inhale, lift. And last time. Exhale, tap the shoulder, tap the ear, and then walk those right hands forward. Or maybe you lift right fingertips towards sky and drop them behind back body, catching hold of the left thigh. Ooh. Forgot where we were. Inhale, lift the right hand high. Then press it in front of the nose, pressing yourself back up, opening left fingertips towards sky, and then exhaling down to your tabletop position. From here, we're going to start to build some heat and some strength and really begin to open up through the shoulders. So walk the hands, maybe a hand or two out in front of you, and then tuck the toes. And we're going to lift the knees up off the ground and send the hips high, coming into a downward facing dog. So wiggle yourself until you get to a place that feels like a comfortable downward dog. Remember, knees can be bent, knees can be not. Maybe you even walk out the legs a little bit here, starting to warm up through the hamstrings. Really press the floor away so that your shoulders are shrugging away from the ears and you've got a lot of stability in the hands. And then we're going to do some dolphin push-ups. So walk the toes a little bit closer. Knees can bend, knees can straighten, whatever feels good to you. And as you exhale, bring elbows towards one another and then lower them to the ground. Inhale, press the ground away. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Lower. Lift. Lower. Lift. Let's do 10. 9. You got it. 8. Reach the hips high. 7. Belly button to spine. 6. Elbows down. Squeeze. 3. 2. When you get to your elbows next time, let's hold it here. Lift the hips high. Root down through the palms of the hands. And then send the heart forward towards the nose. And then exhale, send the heart back. Inhale, nose forward, chin forward. Exhale back. 3 more. Chin forward, heart back. Chin forward, heart back. Chin forward, heart back. Excellent work. Let's press onto the palms. Lift the elbows from the floor. Find your downward dog. Maybe take a little sway side to side. Might even feel good. Let's bend into both knees and drop the hips over to the right side. Drop the knees to the left and send your weight to the back of the mat. Fun little stretch here. Inhale, coming forward, and then exhale, dropping over to the opposite side. Knees to the right, hips to the left. Press the floor away. Then inhale, coming back through center. And let's exhale, find your downward dog. Inhale, let's go ahead and sweep the left toes tie. And then as you exhale, bring left knee in towards left armpit, coming into a high plank. Exhale, three-legged dog. Bring the knee in one more time. Then back to your three-legged dog. And then we're going to turn onto the outside edge of the back foot, coming into a side plank on your right hand. Inhale, lift the left hand high. Lift the hips high, shine the heart towards the sky. Really building some heat here. Then with your next exhale, let's drop the left hand under the rib cage, giving ourselves a nice big hug like we're threading the needle. Inhale, lift it to the sky. Exhale, nice big hug. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, nice big hug. Inhale to the sky. And this time, let's bring the left toes, those top toes, up towards the knee. Drop them behind the knee. And then sit down for just a second onto the right hip before inhale, lifting heart, lifting hips, coming into a wild thing. Take some circles with the left hand, circling out the shoulder. Don't forget to breathe. You're doing great. And then let's look down towards your right hand, and we'll come all the way back over to a high plank. Exhale, lowering through a chaturanga, or all the way to the belly. Inhale, lifting the heart, moving through your vinyasa. Exhale, we'll meet in a downward facing dog. Good work, yogis. Nice strength building. Inhale, lift those right toes high. Exhale, knee comes in towards elbow. Inhale, toes high. Exhale towards elbow. One more time, toes high. Exhale towards elbow. And then let's shift the weight onto the outside edge of the left foot and reach the right arm high. There you go. Exhale, wrap the right hand around the rib cage. Inhale, open. Lift the hips. Exhale, right arm wraps. Inhale, open. Last time, exhale, right arm wraps. Inhale, open. Look up towards that right hand and slide the right toes up until you drop them behind the hips. Set the left hip down for just a second, and then inhale, lift hips, heart, hands towards sky. Wild thing. Take a couple shoulder circles with that right arm. Press the floor away. Lift the hips a little higher. And then as you exhale, look down towards left hand, coming onto the left edge of the outside edge of the back foot, and then pivoting over, high plank. Moving through your vinyasa. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, downward dog. Let's walk the toes all the way forward. Take a moment and hang in forward fold. Clasp hold of opposite elbows. Maybe sway gently side to side. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms. Let's step it back or hop it back. High plank, flowing through your vinyasa and meeting in a downward dog. From here, we'll take a little flow, putting some of those elements together. So inhale, look forward. Exhale, bring the elbows to the floor. Pull the heart through, coming into a chaturanga. And then exhale, press it up, high plank. Send the hips back, left toe sweep high. Knee comes in towards chest. And then exhale, knee back to the sky. And then turning onto the outside edge of the right foot, coming into a side plank. Drop the toes behind you. Set the hips down for a moment. Inhale, lift the hips high. Wild thing. Exhale, moving through your plank, and then planting left palms, coming into high plank, your vinyasa. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, elbows lower. Heart pulls through, chaturanga. Exhale, plank pose. Inhale, right toes sweep high, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee in towards nose. Inhale, toes high. One more time, exhale, knee towards nose. And then twisting into a left side plank, reaching the right fingertips high before gently dropping hips and right toes behind, prepping for wild thing, and then lifting heart and hips. Inhale to the sky, circling at right arm once or maybe twice before moving back through your side plank and then meeting in a high plank. Exhale, lowering through your vinyasa. Inhale, lift. Exhale, send the hips high. Take a couple breaths here. And then we'll build a little strength before we start to play with a forearm stand. So exhale, elbows to the floor. Inhale, pull the heart through, chaturanga. Exhale, press the floor away, high plank. Send the hips high. Let's do that 3 more times. Elbows lower, chaturanga. Press up to plank, downward dog. Elbows, chaturanga. High plank, downward dog. One more. Elbows, chaturanga. High plank, downward dog. Good job. You did it. Walk that out. Maybe walk the hands back to the back of the mat. Let the head hang nice and heavy. And then if you have a block or you have a book, I would recommend going to grab it at this time. So taking a little minute, and then with our block, we're going to place it in between the TV screen of our hands, okay? So the L's of our thumbs and our first finger, we're going to place the block in between there so that we can keep a nice distance. If you don't have one, no problem. There's another great way to measure for your forearm stand. So what we'll do is come down to our knees, and everyone can do this together. Go ahead and bring your elbows to the floor, and then you'll take your right or your left hand and cross it over to the opposite elbow, okay? If your hand grabs hold of that elbow, you'll see like I'm doing, okay? If you grab hold of that elbow, that is the distance that your arms should be apart. You'll notice that in forearm stand, often we collapse outward. To keep from doing that, you want to really try and hug the triceps in and really press the floor away. That's that protraction and retraction in the shoulders that we've worked on. So using a block can really help you to do that because you have something to push inward and to grab inward so that you're really remembering to keep those elbows together. Another option is to use a strap and to secure it around your elbows at an appropriate distance. This is something that obviously locks your elbows in place, but doesn't help to build the same strength because you are using something else to build strength for you. So this can be a good way to help your body learn the shape and remember, but I would recommend doing practice without a strap as well so you can really work on building the strength that it takes to hug your triceps in together. Okay. So all that said, let's get started, okay? We'll put our elbows down, grab hold of that block, or press your finger pads into the floor. If there's no block, you're just pressing into the floor. And then we're gonna lift the hips high. Now maybe here your hamstrings are feeling still pretty tight, and so we'd bend the legs. Or maybe your hamstrings are feeling loosey-goosey, and you wanna practice straighten the legs and walking the toes closer, okay? All just options, none better than the other. What we're all going to do together, though, is those same plank or dolphin push-ups that we did earlier where we exhale the nose forward towards the chin, or the chin towards the thumbs, and then send the heart back. Let's do 3 of those together in this position. So chin and nose forward, then send the heart back through the collarbones. Chin and nose forward, send the heart back. Chin and nose forward, send the heart back. Now take a little notice. Did your elbows come apart? What happened? Where did you let go? Where could you be a little more present? Okay? And then let's walk the toes forward and we're going to take some preps. So we're going to pull the right knee in towards chest and lift the left toes high. Then exhale, let's just bring the left knee in towards the elbow. Inhale, lift, just like those three-legged planks we did. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lift. Two more, you got it. Exhale, knee to elbow. Lift. Exhale, knee to elbow. And then go ahead and set those knees down. Maybe you take a little shake. Maybe you wiggle it on out. And then we're going to do the other side. Don't take too long, okay? And then go ahead, press those elbows together. Maybe you measure the distance. Maybe you've got your block. Tuck your toes under and inhale the hips high. Walk them to where it feels like you are really lifting up out of your shoulders and really lifting the hips high. And then bend the left knee. Walk the left toes a little closer and inhale, right leg straight. Exhale, right knee in towards elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee towards elbow. Feel that shift forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lift. Two more. Knee to elbow, lift. And knee to elbow, lift. Exhale, set it down. Set your knees down. Take a little shake, and we're going to talk about the gaze. So in balancing postures, our drishti, or our gaze, can be really essential. In forearm stand, you're going to place your arms down. Maybe you measure them out just now, and you look, and you're going to see that there's kind of a space right between your thumbs. That's a good spot to look because it's going to keep your momentum moving in the right direction without tucking your chin too much and having you fall over the other side. But I prefer, and maybe this works for you too, to look down towards the tip of my nose, just past where the tip of my nose is. That keeps my neck from straining, okay? So that might be something that you try in this next prep. Tuck the toes, forearms ready. Inhale, lift the hips high. And then see that slight look down the tip of your nose, or you can look forward towards your thumbs. And we're going to bend the right knee, lift the left toes high, and see if you can take a little hop. Okay, hug the right knee in towards chest, take a little hop. Maybe you find some hang time. Really send the left toes high. Take a little hop. Let's do two more little hops. One and two. Okay, little hops done. Let's lift the hips and take some little hops on the opposite side. Step the left toes in, reach the right toes for the sky. You're gonna really reach right toes up and take a little hop off the left, looking down towards the tip of your nose. Lift and lower. Send the right toes high as if they could touch the ceiling. Lower. Squeeze the triceps together. Push the ground away. You got it. One more. See if you can find some hang time. Woo! Squeeze that core. Squeeze that block. And when you're ready, safely come down. Set back on your hips. Take a few rolls of the shoulders. Good job. Pincha playtime. So fun, team. All right, from here, let's take one more opportunity to play with pincha. And I here recommend that maybe you practice those hops. Maybe you are seeing if you can bring one knee in and then the other towards the sky. But whatever feels good to you, let's take a minute. Maybe we hang out here in dolphin. We get ready, we walk one toe slightly forward, bend the knee, lift the toes to the sky. Look down the tip of your nose and lift the hips. Squeezing the legs together, squeezing the heels together, lifting up and out of the waist as if you could rocket ship your toes to the sky. You got it. Claw the fingers into the floor. Reach triceps for one another. And then when you're ready, gently set the toes down. Bring the feet as wide as the mat. And let's meet in a child's pose, taking a little rest. Good work, team. We're not quite done yet. So let's inhale, roll it forward, plant the forearms. We've played a lot, but to be able to play consistently, we must build strength. So tuck the toes, lift the knees, forearm plank. Let's hold for a while, like 10, 11, 9. You got it. Say that's 6. Maybe you shift forward and back. Maybe you drop the hips side to side. Maybe you find stillness. 3, 2, 1, gently lower the hips to the floor. Keep the forearm bent, Sphinx pose. Inhale, lift the chest, press the tops of the feet down, actively engage the back body. And then feel as if you're pulling your elbows towards your rib cage. And notice the sensation that happens there. And then maybe, because we're being open to new experiences, you inhale here, and as you exhale, you stick out your tongue, lion's breath. Let's do 2 more. Inhale in. Exhale, stick out the tongue and roar. 1 more. Inhale in. Tongue out, exhale. Just releasing anything that needs to be released. From here, pressing into the finger pads, knuckle pads, and pressing the floor away, straightening the arms, actively engaging the glutes, feeling that nice, gentle back bend. Prepping to cool down our practice with a couple of back bends. Now that we're nice and warm, we can really be sure that we've warmed up our shoulders enough to do some nice, fun back bending practice. Exhale, let's lower the elbows, and then sweep the fingertips back by the rib cage. And then let's send the left arm long to the side. Maybe you make it like a T, or maybe like a cactus. Cactus is going to be more intense for these next few postures. But then bring the right heel in towards glute, and then exhale, rolling over that left shoulder, planting the right foot on the floor, right knee up towards sky. Maybe here we inhale the right hand high, and then drop it behind back body, finding a little twist. Or maybe you have it planted in front of the face, using the fingertips to help twist the body and gently open the left shoulder. Breathing deeply. Nice long exhales. And then let's rock back over onto the belly, plant the right palm. Take a little wiggle. Then bring the left hand next to the rib cage and extend the right out to the side. Dropping the left heel behind the hips. And then either pressing the floor away with fingertips of that left hand, or reaching the arm up and then dropping it back behind the back body, taking a nice little twist, opening up through the right shoulder. And then gently bringing the fingertips again in front of nose, rolling over onto the belly. And from here, let's press up to a tabletop position, cross the ankles over, and come to lay on the back. Once you're on the back body, settling in by bringing the heels close to the glutes, and then making it so that maybe your fingertips reach down and touch the outside edges of your ankles. Squeeze the knees together. Maybe you even invite that block back into your practice and place it between the knees, making sure you can really squeeze the inner thighs together. And then press the elbows into the floor, and we'll lift the hips and the heart towards sky. At the same time, bridge pose. Maybe here you walk the hands underneath you and interlace the fingers, walking the shoulders a little bit more underneath. Lift the hips high, squeeze that block, or the metaphorical block. Letting the neck stay really nice and neutral here. And then when you're ready to come down, gently undoing the interlace of the fingers, walking shoulders out from under back body, and then rolling the vertebrae down one at a time until they come to land on the earth. Now, option here to repeat bridge pose like we just did, because it's an awesome juicy pose, or if you're feeling warmed up and your shoulders are feeling ready for it, we'll take full wheel. To do full wheel, you will take your palms and take the fingers and you'll look at them above you and then place those fingers so that they point down towards your shoulders on the mat next to your ears. Move your hair out of the way if you have it. And then squeeze the elbows together before you press up so that you know that your arms are going to be about shoulders distance apart when you press up. Squeeze the inner thighs together just like we did in bridge pose. And as you exhale, then we're going to lift the hips and heart, and maybe you land on the top of the head before pressing all the way up. So inhale all together. And as you exhale, press the ground away, and maybe you rest here on the top of your head, readjust the hands, actively engage the glutes, and then press the floor away, lifting up into a full wheel pose. Let the neck be nice and neutral. No need to really look for the floor. No need to lift the chin too much. Just letting the head hang naturally. And then squeeze, just like we did in pincha in that forearm stand, squeeze the triceps together. Press the floor away. Lift the hips high. Squeeze the glutes. Maybe you play here with straightening one leg. Maybe you play with straightening the other. Maybe you straighten both. Maybe not. Maybe you walk the toes closer, lift the hips higher, or maybe you just find some stillness. Whatever you do, reach the hips high and the heart forward. And then as you exhale, gently come back to the crown of the head before setting the back of the head down, bending into the neck and rolling the vertebrae one at a time. Neck remains nice and neutral, and the tailbone comes to rest. Then let's take the knees towards the ceiling and feet as wide as the mat, and just windshield wiper the legs to the right. Windshield wiper the legs to the left. Just take a few windshield wipers back and forth, releasing any tension that built up in the low back. And then inhale, let's bring both knees into chest. And as you exhale, send the right leg long and send the left leg over to the right side of the body, opening up arms like a T, with an option to bend bottom leg, that right leg in towards glute, and grab hold with your left hand, taking more of a cat-tail pose twist. Inviting shoulders closer to floor. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, deepening the twist. And then when you're ready, gently releasing that bottom foot if you've taken the bind. Opening up the arms wide and then bringing left knee first into chest before right knee follows. Settling centered under your mat. And then taking a second to drop the left leg long and then draw the right leg over to the left side of your mat. Maybe you bend that left foot in towards glute, grabbing hold with right hand. Taking that cat-tail twist. All just options. Find what feels best in your body today. Listen to what you're needing. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, deepen the twist. And then when you're ready, gently releasing bottom foot, bringing the right knee in towards chest, centering out on your mat, bringing left knee in to follow, and then wrapping your arms around yourself, giving yourself a big hug. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for showing up. And then as you exhale, gently releasing everything towards mat for our final Shavasana. Palms face up. Take up space, feet as wide or wider than your mat. Eyes gently close. And taking a moment to really notice how you're feeling. Checking in once more with body. How'd we do? How are we feeling? Where are any spaces that I might still be holding tension? Can I breathe into those? And exhale, let it go. Compassionately giving yourself these next few breaths to really rest and integrate the practice. And then when you're ready, beginning to come back to the space by wiggling fingers and toes. Taking a big breath, rolling wrists and ankles, and then reaching arms up high overhead, bringing feet together, full body stretch. Before gently rolling onto one side, bringing knees in towards chest, cradling head in the palms. And then gently bringing yourself back up to a seated position. Closing out the practice just the way we started. Inhaling. And as you exhale, maybe you bring the palms to touch at heart center, honoring one more time your intention for this practice, honoring what you will be, who you will be, how you will be when you move beyond the mat today. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste. Thanks, y'all. It is a true pleasure to be here with you, and I hope that you like what I'm doing. Please like, subscribe, follow, share with your friends, do some yoga together, and have a beautiful day. We will see you again tomorrow.